Alright, so welcome to part 2 of our video. Just some minor notes after rewatching part 1. One, she is very, very, very sorry for saying homophobe where she meant to say germaphobe, because homophobe doesn't even make sense in the context at all.
Things get really scrambled in my head.
Secondly, something we'd like to point out too is we meant to do this on the first video and we forgot to, so jumping here now. We are going to give you a warning. We are 2 teenage girls. We may use foul language. If that offends you, we greatly apologize. We apologize.
I already apologized for something.
Okay, so moving on to part 2 of our top 20 Pixar couples ever. If you missed part 1,
Screw you.
This is YouTube. Just click the little button up top and then click the video. It's right there.
Anyways, at number 15 we have from Disney Pixar Toy Story 3, Barbie and Ken. I am not a huge fan of this couple. Why? Well, it has what I like to call the Disney Princess Syndrome. What is the Disney Princess Syndrome, you ask? Well, the Disney Princess Syndrome can be a good thing or a bad thing. It is when a Disney princess falls in love with a prince or just regular guy without even knowing him, with examples like Ariel, Sleeping Beauty in a sense, Cinderella, Snow White, that kind of thing. Alright, Barbie is the same because she meets Ken and she'll like, hey, look at me, I'm gonna go live with Ken, and Ken's like, hey, I have a hook in my lip.
I actually almost disagree in a sense. I completely agree with your analysis, but I think that's what makes it so great, is in Pixar and in the Toy Story franchise especially, there hasn't been that couple, because if Pixar was going to make a character who was going to fall for the Disney Princess Syndrome, it would have to be somebody who's extremely naive and trusting and almost come off as stupid. Barbie is the only one who'd fit that, because otherwise the characters would really come off as unlikable. And just to point out, Ariel and Barbie are both voiced by Jodie Benson, so I think that almost gives her an excuse.
See, I guess I do really like the couple. It's just that my problem is it's really cliche to me. I like princesses like Mulan and Belle and Jasmine and even Nala from The Lion King who don't necessarily like the person right away.
Well, Nala did.
Well, they're friends, but we don't know when they're friends.
Anyway, this isn't about Disney princesses. This is about
Barbie
Pixar,
and Ken.
And right now we're talking about Barbie and Ken. Something I really like about it, on top of the fact that they have that type of relationship, is when Barbie uses him, basically, is the best way I can explain it, to get the manual to explain how to make Buzz back to normal, the Buzz Lightyear of Star Command manual. So she does so by having him put on a fashion show, stripping him down to his underwear, tying him up to a ping pong paddle, and she then just rips up all his clothes until he talks. And then he comes back for more!
But I believe why he came back for more was because she stripped him and tied him up.
And he's a freak like that?
Yeah. Anyways, I'm not going to say that they're a bad couple. I'm just saying there's definitely work that could be done.
Yes. Okay, moving on, at number 14
is my favorite canon crack pairing.
Canon crack?
I mean, fannon. I can't talk. I make mistakes. I'm so bad at talking.
Doing it. Look, do you see what our video looked like before? Now we have the cupboard. Now we have the ceiling, because you keep doing this and shaking my freaking laptop.
So, anyways, at number 14, we have from Disney Pixar's Cars 1 and Cars 2, Sarge and Fillmore. Sarge Moore! Who are Sarge and Fillmore? Sarge is known among people, I can imagine, as the grumpy old army van veteran guy. And Fillmore is the crackhead hippie van. So, they should make a good couple naturally. You'd think. Because they do. This is why.
Because they do.
This is why. They're going to be an old married couple. Old because they're old. It's basically shown throughout all the movies how old they are.
The 70s weren't good to you, were they?
Second, they always argue and bicker about everything. And although people can argue that they're just best friends, I personally believe that there's more to it. I don't get mad when people say, oh yeah, they're best friends, they'll never be together. I get mad when people are like, yeah, that's not true. They'll never be together because It just doesn't work like that. It could. I believe if Pixar was more mature, or if they actually felt like they could do the gay thing, and they would totally be together.
Yeah, I do completely agree. I really like Sergeant Fillmore.
But the reason they're at the bottom, or closer to the bottom, is because, first of all, not many people agree with us, and second, they're just not good enough to be at the top. No. Because they're not well known enough.
Yeah. And the relationship is flawed. Even as a friendship, the relationship is flawed.
Anyways, at number 13, from another fan pairing, from Disney Pixar's Finding Nemo, we have Gil and Peach.
Woo! I love these guys.
Gil is the really cool, like,
emo,
mysterious guy from the tank who has the screwed up fin.
Because he fed on mental tools.
And Peach is the starfish.
Who's a girl!
And not a man or a transvestite.
Yeah, Peach is a girl played by Allison Janney, and just because just because it's a girl voice doesn't mean it's a girl character. It's confirmed Peach is a girl.
Anyways, you can continue.
Anyway, I first found out about these two actually through fan fiction that I was reading one time, and I was like, oh wow, these two could actually be like a good couple. And then I was watching the movie and watching clips from the movie and listening to the soundtrack from the Walt Disney World Animal Kingdom musical, Finding Nemo the musical. I was just like, wow, these two could actually be a good couple because Gil, there's a scene in the movie where Gil goes on about how being a tank does things to fish. And it's obvious through characters like Deb or Bubbles or Gurgles or Jacques. And less obvious through characters like Bloat. But Gil stayed sane. And when everybody else was welcoming Nemo to the Ring of Fire and the eternal bonds of tankhood, Peach was the only one to speak up and say, we want you in our club, kid.
And also, on top of that, I kind of always saw Peach, after I realized she was a girl, as the mother figure, and Gil as the father figure, which would naturally put them together. And number 12 on our list, we actually have the first canon pairing I ship and I don't hate. Woo! We have, from Disney Pixar's Cars and Cars 2, Lady McQueen and Sally.
Sally Carrera.
The reason I ship these might be because I hate the characters individually. Sally is just plain and annoying, and she's just kind of, like, almost boring, as a term to use. And Lightning's just a juice bag, especially to people like Mater, who I pitied the entire time. So, I guess I like them as a couple because they almost make each other better.
They make each other better people.
And it's nice seeing them grow as a couple, because first it starts off and she hates him and he wants to, like, get with her. And then they kind of hate each other. And then she invites him to stay in her motel because even in Hellbilly Hell they have standards. And then they go driving together and they fall in love. And then throughout the movie you see how in love they are. And then in the second movie, she goes all Google with Francesco when Lightning gets jealous, which is really cute. And then she's still in love with Francesco by the end. Even though she pretends not to be. But it's okay because I feel Lightning is probably too. In love with Francesco, I mean.
And also he's probably in love with Chick Hicks as well.
Probably.
And Mater.
Anyways, moving on to number 11, which is a very good one. From
these two made number 11.
From Disney Pixar's Finding Nemo, we have Deb and Flo. Who is Deb? Well, Deb is the blue and silver fish, I think.
Yeah. Blue fish,
is
silver
she silver?
stripes.
Okay. I'm just making sure. Who talks to herself in her reflection.
Which she is thusly named Flo.
Which is why they're a couple. Because I personally believe that she loves herself so much, she has to have that rub off from someone else. Like, share love.
I kind of have it's like almost like a theory, that she loves herself so much that it almost split to become another person, and that's why she treats Flo separate from herself. So she loves Flo as much as she loves someone else, and yet she still loves herself as much as other people do.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So really, Flo and Deb are on her list, or she or them, because there is nobody in the world she pays more attention to
than herself.
And vice versa. So, that's the end of part 2.
Tune in for part 3, because it'll be awesome, here's hoping.
And hopefully I won't screw up.